Okay, so while reading the best bits of the Atlas of Venus, so I came to it's a nice atlas with a lot of with many excerpts from Soviet photographs from the supposedly from the Venera project. I mean, and a lot of other modern maps and photographs. I mean, you see, it's an interesting atlas. I mean, who knows what the truth is, but I'm having like an idea. It might sound like a little bit. I mean, not all of you will like it for certain, but I don't need everybody to like it. I think, I mean, it's an idea. Tell me what you think about it. As you know, I really need to make money because the government of Israel they don't want me to have money at all. They want you to think that I'm such an idiot and that I'm basically a child that cannot take care of himself, even though I worked at the high-tech industry for many years and have a substantial academic and commercial and experience in the military and what's not. But I mean, they want you to believe that I am so dependent that only the capos, the Nazi personnel here in Israel, they have to take care of me. Of course, they require a lot of money from the international community in order to guide me because I need guidance. And what kind of guidance is better than the guidance that is supplied by the scum of the earth, the worst people that you can possibly imagine, that are, fill to the brim the pit of trash that is the Israeli intelligence. I mean, they are the best guides. I mean, who is better than them should guide me? This clueless little robot that cannot find his way in the world. Who should guide him if not the captains of the Israeli Shabak, the people that in any measurable aspect are worse than him in tenfold. Like, I mean, he's better than them in any parameter that you can think about. But of course, he requires their constant guidance. And of course that they need money, and a lot of money from the international community in order to guide him. So let's be reasonable. I need to get out of the Israeli prison, and the sooner the better. And it will be best for the entire world, because the longer I'm here in the Israeli prison, more asteroids are on the way to Earth, and that's the fact that it's already been established, and many millions will die because I'm locked in the Israeli prison, in the Nazi prison, and it will never be solved using mouses and tongues. No, that's not the way to solve the issue. This is not the way to solve the issue. Only using arms and legs and hands. This is the only way to solve the problem of me and my daughters being locked in the Israeli Nazi prison. If you use your mouses and tongues, if you move them, you are not solving the issue, you are only making it worse. And the disastrous asteroids are on the way, and I assure you that you did not find all of them. You did not discover all of them, because they are more on their way. Then they are coming, and they will keep coming until mouses will stop move and tongues will not move, and instead arms and legs will be moved. Then the bombardment that the earth is subjected to will stop. Not a minute before, not 1 minute before. And the chance that I will change my view of Israel is absolutely zero. This is a Nazi country. It should be destroyed. And me, rescued from Israel, will not save this country. And I said it very boldly and quite and loudly. Following my rescue, me and my daughter's rescue from the state of Israel, only bad things are coming to Israel. The situation will be getting worse and worse, even with disregard to the asteroid that is on the way to flush the water on the toilet. It is the state of Israel. The Israeli state will be destroyed even before the asteroid will hit the Mediterranean and flush the cesspit that is the state of Israel, because they have many factors. They don't need much in order to be destroyed. It's a house of cards that is built upon greed, violence, and just inhumanity. Having said that, I need money, and I already told you, allegedly the best way to make money is to sell the stuff that is my body naturally produces. And why not? Let's put it bluntly. Why not just jerk off in slides and sell it. I know that let's put it bluntly. One time that I do it, I can prepare from the material maybe something like maybe 10 slides with 10. I'm referring to standard microscope slides. Anyone that have any experience with biology, with laboratory practice, knows what I refer to. So I can prepare 10 of these, and each of them have many. As you've seen, it was demonstrated already. Each of them contains many of the ring creatures that I know that many people, especially Titanesses, demand. Of course, there is the issue of how to ship it or to hand it freeze, because it's better. I think it's better. It's better kept freeze, even though it's also kept. We have seen that even in room temperature, if it's airtight, they tend to stay alive. But of course, all of that is just a fantasy. It's impossible to do it because I live in a Nazi prison. Ladies and gentlemen, I live in a Nazi prison. They will never let me get out of Israel without international intervention. And when I mean intervention, I do not refer to movement of mouses and tongues. This kind of intervention will never help me. Only intervention that is comprised of arms and legs moving in synchronous matter could perhaps let me get out of this hell. And until then, I cannot sell this biological matter. They will never let me do it. And of course, another course of action is to sell my painting. I work as a painter for maybe 1 year now, and I haven't sold the thing because the government doesn't want me to sell everything. They want me to be their whore. And this is also difficult for me to sell the painting, even though it's easier than to sell the biological stuff or the pseudo-biological stuff. But it's also under the control of the government that will want to take the usual 99% tax that they always took from me, because that's the way they are in Israel. They do not settle for less than 29% tax. And I do not want them to do it. So we are having a problem. The initial plan was to fly to China, to Hong Kong, the last December, and I already, as I said many times, I went to the Ministry of Internal Affairs to get so they will produce a new valid passport for me. And a couple of days after I've received the passport, the police arrested me, because I'm not a free person. I'm a slave to the Israeli government. But there is another option that I just thought about. Again, reading this fine atlas. As you know, I'm busy producing videos of my own microscopy. So what I thought about is the following, and it can theoretically it could be done in quite a short period, which is to start a Kickstarter project online And to be very plain, to say that, I mean, just tell the truth. I'm not a Homo sapiens. I am a different kind of humanoid, and I mean to prove it by publishing, of course, edited video with my microscopic findings, of course, with a new, sound, new text, spoken words, which are, of course, that of course are. Using a correct English and preparing the text before and editing the video to be concise and with all the nice the graphical images that are most convincing, and to say that I need money in order to buy a new microscope and perhaps video editing software and something like that. And the objective is to create a book like this one, an atlas, a microscopic atlas or a microscopic photographic textbook, initial textbook of my microscopic body, especially the semen and its interaction with biological matter, like you've already seen, flies and maybe other small animals. And of course, any benefactor and anyone that donates money to this project, starting some kind of an arbitrary sum that I will decide on, will get the first edition, a signed copy of the first edition of this book. And of course, I can sell it not only. It's not. I don't have to sell only like hardback copies or paperback copies. I can also sell ebooks. I personally I like ebooks very much. I'm using Kindle with my two iPads. So the advantages of this course of action is that I really need money and I really need the new microscope, and this will help me. Continuing my scientific pursuit that I want to pursue anyway. And also the advantage is that it will be difficult for the Israeli government to block it without the cooperation of other intelligence agencies. I know that if all the intelligence agencies will want to block it, it will be blocked, because I cannot. It's easy to create it's easy to block any kickstarting site for my usage, or to make it happen that I will not be able to use it if they are all combined work against me. But if only the Israeli government, the Shabak Mossad, will work in order to block it, which they will certainly will, it will be difficult for them. Also, it's going to be very difficult for them to supposedly that I get the money, receive the money and buy the new microscope and video editing software, it's going to be very difficult for them to stop me from publishing the book, at least in the electronic version. But even it's going to be even a problem for them to do it if I want to, and I will want to publish a paper, a printed one, both paperback and hardcover. Another important, this should have been mentioned first. Another important advantage is that this way my existence will be known in the public, which is important, because otherwise I don't see any way for me to get out of the Israeli prison, because I don't see that anyone is doing anything to get me out of here. You just, speak with the Israelis. You just move your tongues, and your mouth is constantly moving, and this doesn't get me anywhere. It only enforces the Israelis to torture me even more. As I always said, because the Israelis should not be dealt with using mouths and tongues, only arms and legs. These are a bunch of lizard people, of snakes and lizards. They cannot be reasoned with only using a piece of wood on their head, like in the Amos Moses song. Took a trunk and put them in there and knock them in the head, because that's the way to deal with alligators. No other way is possible. So, in order for me to get out of prison, I need to be exposed to the sun And what better way to do it than to start a kickstarting project and to publish, and short after to publish a book with my findings. This will help public opinion, hopefully, do whatever it needed to press the politicians to secure me and my daughters and to rescue us from the Nazi prison. So I'll glad, as usual, I'll glad to have to receive comments, and maybe later today I will create new videos with more material, more microscopic material. I think it's better for me to perhaps I'll try to, as I said before in the previous video, to hunt. I'm calling it hunt, to capture new flies, living flies here in this house, and just to create new, what I call biomonsters, with new ejaculations on them, because I think they provide the best result as far as interaction between the neurons and organic matter. But but nevertheless, I mean, we already have many slides in the freezer that we've not inspected yet, and it can be interesting to do it with the flowers and the Chinese orange with several different minerals on it, and of course the semen on it, and it will be interesting to see what we have on the slides after 5 days of being freezed.